Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 6 Monday Night Football game between the Chargers and the Broncos. We got an okay game on Monday night. We'll see how this one plays out. The Broncos, this is like their fourth primetime game this season, and so far, every primetime game the Broncos have been in, it's been like a complete shit show. It's been a really low-scoring game. I don't know if that's going to be the case tonight. We got a 45.5 total in this game, so a pretty decent total. The Chargers are favored by 4.5. But we're going to talk through two picks I like for this Monday Night Football game. Normally on these primetime games, I usually just play, I'll play a two-pick entry, and that's usually all that I play. There's usually not enough to where I want to, take a big stand and play like 5, 6, 7 props. Usually it's hard to find that many props that actually look good in one game. So usually I just kind of stick to two picks, and that's really all that I play. But we'll talk through the two picks I like for this game. Real quickly, though, make sure you guys hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And also, if you are new here, make sure to check out Prizepicks. You can sign up with my promo code NOAH. Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. I do want to mention that Prizepicks, they are running a really good promo right now. They have Steph Curry's points prop set at 0.5. This is a free pick that Prizepicks is giving you to kind of hype up the NBA season. The NBA regular season does start on Tuesday, and I will have some NBA content coming out on the channel. It's probably on Monday afternoon. I'm going to start uploading Prizepicks videos for NBA. Going to have DFS videos for NBA as well. But if you want to take advantage of this free square promo that Prizepicks is offering, just take the over 0.5 points on Steph Curry. This is again a free pick, guaranteed to hit. You just have to find any other pick you like to pair with that, and it does not have to be an NBA pick. So if you don't follow NBA, if you don't enjoy NBA, you can pair it with an NFL pick. You can pair it with something from tonight's game. You can pair it with the two picks that I'm going to give out in this video. It's totally up to you. But you definitely want to be taking advantage of these free promos, these cool promos Prizepicks is running. I'm sure this won't be the only promo they run this NBA season. They're going to offer plenty of other free squares at some point. But you definitely want to take advantage of this stuff when they do offer it. And if you guys are not signed up for Prizepicks yet, make sure to sign up with promo code NOAH. You'll get your deposit bonus when you sign up. Basically, you deposit $25, you'll get an additional $25 to play with, and you can use that on this Steph Curry free square because I think it does have a $25 limit. But you can put $25 on one entry. You can make two $10 entries and a $5 entry. You can make 5 different $5 entries. Totally up to you. Don't have to put all $25 on the one entry. It's just a max of $25 that you can play on this promo. But yeah, wanted to give a shout out to Prizepicks because they are running a great promo right now. And if you guys do want more Prizepicks plays from me, I do provide those over on Patreon. I do want to give a shout out to the Patreon. We did have a pretty good day on Patreon Sunday. We gave out 5 additional picks on Patreon. Went 4-1 on our 5 additional picks. What I do on Patreon is I give a full write-up for each play that I'm on. So basically, any other plays that I like that I don't post on YouTube, I'll post on Patreon. Now, for the primetime games, for the Monday Night Football games, Thursday Night Football games, I've just kind of been doing like a 2-pick entry. What I post, what I give out in this video, that'll probably be all that I play. I probably won't play anything else just because it's hard to find a ton of props from one game. But for the full Sunday slate, it's obviously a lot easier to find more than just 2 or 3 props. You can find 7, 8, 9, 10 props that are actually good bets. And I post what I do on Patreon is I post a list of plays that I'm on, and I give a full write-up for each play. So as you can see, posted my list with a full write-up for each play. Went 4-1. The only pick that we did not hit was Tyler Lockett's over receptions. I felt really good about that bet. Lockett's his reception prop was at 5.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook, and I think it had -140 on the over. So honestly, that line on Prizepicks should have probably been 6 for Lockett, and it was at 5. Felt really good about that play, and Lockett just had the worst game ever. One of his worst games. He had 2 catches on 3 targets. But I do post Prizepicks plays on Patreon. I also do give out more DFS content. So if you guys do play DFS, DraftKings, Yahoo, I give a full write-up for each position, kind of my player pool. I give my core plays as well. It looks like this. It's it's a breakdown of my top plays. I give plays I would go to in cash games, plays I would go to in tournaments, stuff like that. Again, if you're interested in all this, it's provided on Patreon. Give out additional content there, more than I just post on YouTube. When I'm not making YouTube videos for posting content on YouTube, I'm working on stuff for Patreon members. And we have NBA season starting up on Tuesday. I'm going to have obviously plenty of Patreon content for NBA at least starting Tuesday. Going to have NBA content up on the channel as well. But again, check that out if you're interested, guys. Link down below in the description. Get access to everything I provide for just $20 per month. But yeah, let's talk about the two picks I like for this Monday Night Football game. We'll start off with the passing yards prop. So I have a passing yards prop I'm liking for this one, and then I have a fantasy score prop that I'm liking. So for passing yards, we're going to be taking Russell Wilson to have more than 226.5 passing yards. Now I know, passing yards can kind of be tough props to bet on, just because usually these are pretty efficient lines. More times than not, a quarterback is going to finish, like 20, 30 yards either above or below their passing yard prop. As you can see, Wilson, he's gone over this in 3 out of 5 games. The 2 games he went over, one game he barely went over, one game he went about 40 yards over, one game he went like 100 yards over, and then the 2 games he missed, one game he was like 7 yards short, and then the other game he was like 30, 40 yards short. So I'm not expecting Russell Wilson to throw 400 yards tonight. Obviously, we don't need that. I think he can throw for 227, though, which is what we're looking for. He has averaged just over 250 yards passing per game this season through their first 5 games. And the Broncos have been letting Russell Wilson throw the ball a good amount. So looking at his pass attempts so far this season, 42, 31, 33, 25, and 39 pass attempts for Russell Wilson. He has historically been a pretty accurate quarterback. He's historically had a pretty good completion percentage. His completion percentage so far this season I don't think has been as good. But he's still been able to throw for 227 yards in 3 out of their 5 games, and it feels like Russell Wilson has played like his absolute floor this season. Anyone who's been watching the Broncos, I would think, would agree and say that Russell Wilson has not looked good, and he's still been able to throw the ball throw for a decent amount of passing yards. Again, 226.5. I think this line is a few points too low, or a few yards too low. I feel like it should maybe be around like 240, 250. DraftKings Sportsbook, they do have Russell Wilson's passing yard prop set at 232.5. It's a 6-yard difference. Obviously nothing crazy, but it's at least worth noting that on DraftKings it is 6 yards higher. I like this one. It was one of the props I felt pretty good about. I feel like this line should be maybe like 240, 250. I feel like it should be closer to Wilson's season average. And I know his season average is kind of heavily boosted because of their first game of the season where he threw for 340 yards. But he did have a game where he only threw for 184 yards. And the Broncos, they've been involved in some really low scoring, sloppy games. Even in that 9-12 game against the Colts, he still threw for 274 yards. In the game against Houston, a 16-9 game, and he still threw for 219 yards. Week 1 against Seattle, when it was 16-17, he still threw for 340 yards. So the Broncos have been involved in a lot of low scoring, sloppy games. Russell Wilson's still been able to clear this passing yards prop in 3 out of 5 games. I think tonight, going up against a good Chargers offense, I think the Chargers are going to be able to put up points here. I think the Chargers might even be playing with the lead for a good amount of this game. I could definitely see the Broncos playing from behind here and have to lean into Russell Wilson. I think the volume's going to be there. He's usually been a pretty efficient quarterback, and I like his chances to throw for at least 227 yards. So that is going to be our first pick for tonight, is Russell Wilson to go over 226.5 passing yards. And then the play that I like to pair with that is going to be a fantasy score prop. We're going to be going to Austin Ekeler. I like Austin Ekeler to have more than 17 fantasy points here. And if you look at Austin Ekeler, so far this season, first 5 games, gone over this in 3 out of 5 games. Don't want to look too much in the last 2 games. Obviously, if you look at the last 2 games, he's been crushing at 35 fantasy points against Houston, 35 fantasy points against Cleveland. He's run really hot on touchdowns the last 2 games, so he has scored 5 touchdowns over their last 2 games, which is something we can't expect to happen every week. But their first 3 games, he scored 0 touchdowns. Even week 2 against Kansas City, without scoring a touchdown, Austin Ekeler had over 18 fantasy points. He had 9 catches for 55 yards and 14 carries for 39 yards. We know Austin Ekeler is going to have a big role in this Chargers offense. He's going to play probably 60-65% of the snaps. He's not going to be a workhorse running back like Saquon Barkley is. Saquon Barkley plays 85-90% of the snaps. Ekeler's not going to have that high of a snap count. But when Ekeler's on the field, he's going to get touches, whether that means getting carries or getting usage in the passing game. Ekeler is one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league. He's been averaging, I think, the second most targets on the team. He's averaging just over 6 targets per game this season. He has the second highest target share behind Mike Williams for the Chargers. So, Ekeler's probably going to see 12 to 15 carries. He's probably going to see 5 to 6 targets. The volume is going to be there. He could go over this fantasy score prop without even scoring a touchdown. He could do what he did against Kansas City, have 15 carries for 50 yards, and then he could have 7 catches for 60 yards. That is totally possible for Austin Ekeler because he's going to be involved in the passing game. He's going to get some carries as well. but they're going to use him a lot in the red zone. I know he's been scoring a lot of touchdowns lately. I don't expect him to score 2 touchdowns per game. I mean, last week he scored 2 touchdowns. A week before that he scored 3. He's definitely run hot on the touchdowns, but I think he's a good bet to score a touchdown out of anyone in this game. I think right now he actually does have the best odds to score a touchdown. Last time I looked, his touchdown odds were, I think, minus 155. Yeah, Austin Eckler, anytime touchdown is minus 155 on DraftKings. So he's a pretty decent favorite to score at least a TD here. He's going to get, again, 12 to 15 carries. He should be pretty efficient. He's always been a pretty efficient runner. I will say the Broncos this season against opposing running backs, I mean, they have been solid. But Austin Eckler is kind of like a matchup-proof running back. He's just going to get so much opportunity both on the ground and through the air that he can score more than 17 fantasy points just based on volume. He doesn't even have to get into the end zone. But if he does score a touchdown here, almost certain that he's going to finish with more than 17 fantasy points if he does find the end zone, which it seems like he always has a knack for scoring a touchdown whenever they get near the red zone. He's a really athletic player. They can use him out of the backfield. They can pass it to him. He can run it in. I just think 17 fantasy points is a little bit too low for Eckler. The site that I look at for fantasy score projections, they actually have Eckler projected for just over 20 fantasy points, and I feel like that's probably what his line should be. It should be maybe like 19 or 20. Don't know if 17 is where it should be. Maybe that's, in my opinion, a few points too low. So really like targeting Eckler here. Just, volume's going to be there. We know that. He's just going to get so much opportunity on the ground and through the air. With Prizepicks, fantasy scoring being full PPR as well. A guy like Eckler who can catch 5, 6, 7 balls, like that's so good for their fantasy score because, it just adds to their floor and ceiling. But that's what I'm going to be playing for this Monday Night Football game, guys. Going to be taking Russell Wilson over 226.5 passing yards and Austin Eckler to have more than 17 fantasy points. If you do want to just play these 2 picks, you can do that. You could also pair that with the Steph Curry promo, which again is available on Prizepicks. Just make sure that when you sign up, use promo code NOAH, get that deposit bonus when you sign up, and take advantage of this promo until it is available on Tuesday night when that Lakers-Warriors game starts. You don't have to use this tonight. If you want to wait till Tuesday and wait till I post some NBA props, you could pair the Curry promo with some NBA props that I'm running for Tuesday. But again, guys, take advantage of this promo. Prizepicks, they do these promos pretty often, but anytime they offer them, you definitely want to be taking advantage. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm liking for this Monday Night Football game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, appreciate you watching. Hit that like button if you did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, if you want more Prizepicks plays from me, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I do provide more Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. Feel free to check out the Patreon. Link down below in the description if that is something that does interest you. Provide DFS content and Prizepicks plays over there. I give a full write-up for each one of the Prizepicks plays that I'm on each week. Obviously, I'll be posting Prizepicks plays daily for NBA. I don't know about daily, but at least like Monday through Friday, especially like on the days where we don't have NFL, I'll be posting Prizepicks plays on Patreon. I'll still be making some YouTube videos as well. But I have DFS content that I post on Patreon. You can get a full breakdown of my top plays at each position. Can help you build out your DraftKings lineups, your Yahoo lineups if you do play DFS. But yeah, guys, thanks as always for supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.